Let's continue. Role of judiciary. It plays an important role in overseeing the implementation of constitutional provisions and procedures. In case of any dispute between the central and the state regarding the division of power, the high courts and the supreme court have the right of adjudication. Means any kind of dispute can be considered or can be handled by high courts and the supreme court. The union and the state governments have the power to raise resources by levying taxes in order to carry on the government and the responsibilities assigned to each of them. Example, taxes means income tax, excise duty, revenue, such things are there. There are a number of taxes which are owed. GST. Nowadays we have a GST also. Next we have a linguistic states. New states were created on linguistic basis in 1947, just after our independence, for recognizing the linguistic and the cultural differences of various parts of the country. The formation of linguistic states has united the country and has made administration easier. Earlier in India we had provinces. After 47, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was given the responsibility to convert all these provinces into states so that they can just join them as holding together a federation. So Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel was the leading figure over there to convert all provinces and to merge them with the union government. Now, what were the features of the policy? The features of the policies were: Hindi is the official language of the Union of India. It is an official language. I would like to mention it. It is not the national language. Many people are thinking that Hindi is considered as the national language. We do not have any national language. We do have only an official language. So we have 22 languages are recognized as scheduled languages by the constitution. Earlier there were 18, 4 added. That's why nowadays we have 22. Examination for the central government post may be taken by the candidates in any of the scheduled languages. So whatever 22 languages are there, anyone can be opted. Each state has its own official language. Yes, example, Maharashtra, Marathi, Gujarat, Gujarati, Punjab, Punjabi, etc. According to the constitution, English as an official language was supposed to be discontinued in 1965. However, due to opposition by non-Hindi speaking states, both English and Hindi are being continued for official purposes. So simultaneously, Hindi and English, these both are considered, because in southern India majority of the people dislike Hindi. That's why they are preferring English. That's the main reason why Hindi is not has become our national language. Central state relations. The central government in India has the power to dissolve the state government on grounds of inefficiency and impose the president's rule in the states. Central government has the utmost power. If any one of the state, if it is found on the grounds of inefficiency, the state government is not working properly, then central government has an authority to impose a president rule, where the controls are directly going into the hands of president, just like as union territory. Before 1990, the central government often misused the constitution to dismiss the state government and that were controlled by rival parties. Earlier such kind of things took place over there, but after that the era of coalition government at the center started. The major national parties had to enter into alliances with many regional parties for forming the government. This led to a new culture of power sharing and respect for the autonomy of state governments. Correct. Earlier it happened, but nowadays, if any one of the parties is not getting a majority, then it takes the help of other parties. In previous chapter of power sharing, we had already learnt about the coalition government. So these one or more than two or three parties are coming together and forming a government. It is considered as coalition government. Next we have decentralization in India. It refers to the delegation of powers to the local governments. Now the power has already given to the local government so that people will directly participate in making the government in a democracy. Decentralization makes the government more responsive to people's demand. Yes, whenever power is given to people, then definitely whatever choices are there, whatever people's demands are there, they are always fulfilled. It ensures people's direct participation in decision making. Yes, the election takes place and people are always choosing their own candidate, which are taking their which are really working for them. In 1992, the Indian Constitution was amended to make a third tier of democracy more powerful and effective, that is local government, that is Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti and Jilla Parishad, etc. It is constitutionally mandatory to hold regular election for local government bodies. We know about every 5 years we have such kind of elections. Seats are reserved for the scheduled caste and tribes and other backward classes. At least 1/3 of all positions are reserved for women. We know in our constitution it is already written that whatever backward classes are there, whatever weaker sections are there, they should be given some kind of reservation. The State Election Commission of every state conducts panchayat and municipal elections. The state governments are required to share some powers and revenue with local government bodies. The nature of sharing varies from state to state. Yes, for the smooth functioning of the local levels, it is mandatory that state should give them some kind of fund. Rural local government is known as Panchayat Raj. Now what comes in Panchayat Raj? We have Gram Panchayat, we have Panchayat Samiti and Jilla Parishad. We'll just see it. Each village or a group of villages in some states has a Gram Panchayat, which is a council consisting of several ward members, often called Panch, and a president or Sarpanch. They are directly elected by all the adult population living in the ward or village. It is the decision making body for the entire village. The Panchayat works under the overall supervision of the Gram Sabha. All the voters are its members. It has to meet at least twice or thrice in a year to approve the annual budget of the Gram Panchayat and to review its performances. Means in villages we have Gram Sabha, we have Gram Panchayat, where they are taking the decision for the betterment of their village. Next, we have a few Gram Panchayats are grouped together to form a Panchayat Samiti or block or mandal. The member of this representative body are elected by all the Panchayat members in that area. Now, these Gram Panchayat, more than a few Gram Panchayat, that is a few Gram Panchayat comes together and form Panchayat Samiti. And then all the Panchayat Samitis and mandals in a district together constitute the Jilla Parishad. So whatever Panchayat Samitis and mandals are there, they are considering they constitute together the Jilla Parishad. Most of the Jilla Parishad members are elected, and members of the Lok Sabha and MLAs of that district level body are also its members. Means whatever MPs and MLAs are there, they are the the body members over there. Local bodies that exist for the urban areas are known as municipalities. Big cities are constituted into municipal corporation. Whatever taluka places are there, these taluka places generally have municipalities, and whatever huge cities are there, big cities are there, metropolities are there, that is Pune, Mumbai, Amravati, Akola, these cities have municipal corporation. Both municipalities and municipal corporations are controlled by elected bodies consisting of people's representatives. Means here also the election takes place and we are choosing them. Municipal chairperson is the political head of the municipality. In a municipal corporation, such an officer is called the mayor. So whoever the important person over there, the first person, the first citizen of a city, big city, that is, it is considered as mayor. Constitutional status for local self-government has helped deepen democracy in India. Just because of the democracy, if we want to deepening the democracy, then definitely elections must be taken. And yes, democracy is practiced in a very fantastic manner in India. That's why we are to be considered as the finest democracy in the world. However, the functioning hasn't reached perfection. So although the sentence speaks a lot, because democracy is needed everywhere, but sometimes some people are there who are responsible for not functioning it properly. Let it be, but still each and everybody has a right to vote. That is important. So it depends on us how do we vote. So whenever we are getting a chance to cast our vote, so we need to be very alert while casting our vote. So in future we are going to be the youth of the society, so definitely think before casting a vote. Choose a right candidate, and he must play his role for the smooth functioning of the democracy. Thank you. If you have any doubts, please ask freely. Put a comment over there or write some questions. I'll definitely answer of it.